Hey friends, Andrew Carruthers from The Journeyist. Welcome to episode 19 of The Journey of Sunday. And we are here high above Hyatt Lake. I came up for a little snowshoeing action. I'm probably a little bit out of breath because it was a big climb. But today, what we want to do is we want to open a space for some discussion. I know that I always say that these are discussion, but especially today, I really want to talk about spiritual discovery, and I'll share a little spiritual discovery of mine from this week with you, but I'm really asking for those of you that watch to share in the comments what are some of your spiritual discoveries you've recently had. So for many years, I have had this one big question, which is if I believe that I am truly a spiritual being, a pure spiritual being at my core, which I do believe, why do I need to have a practice? Why do I need to have a spiritual practice? Because practice to me is something that we're trying to become. And I wondered, if I am already that, why can't I just be that which I am? This last week on Testimony Thursday with my good friend and brother Carlo Novoa, we started to explore this topic, and it really opened my mind to a completely different perception of this. And it started with something that Carlo said. Carlo differentiated practice as forgetting, because he had this explanation of when we were children, when we were babies, we didn't have to try to be anything. We were just being. But then through the years, we started to have these things that would happen and these lessons that would happen and these teachings that would take us further and further from that. This really shifted the way I think about the word practice in relationship to spirituality. Because it's not like practicing at a guitar or practicing some kind of craft or trade, because the purpose of that is to gain skill and to progress towards. That was always the thing that was really tricky for me when I put that word towards spirituality, because learning a guitar is like, yeah, I got to practice these chords so I can get better. But I'm like, well, why do I have to get better at being spiritual if, again, my personal belief is I already am that. I already am that pure spiritual being. So Carlo's explanation really triggered a whole new perception, and now I see practice within that spiritual realm as more of a removal, more of a returning to, a simplification. My spiritual practice is much less about trying to gain something, and it's much more about a surrender to something I already am, but have been distracted from. So that's my big discovery for this week, and it's quite life-altering, actually. So I know that my particular discovery is around practice of spirituality, but you are welcome to share anything that you've discovered the last week, the last month or so about spirituality and your relationship to spirituality. So please fill up that chat thread. I really want to hear your stories, and I really feel like if we share our stories and we openly listen to each other's stories, it brings us so much closer together, and it erases this concept of separation and brings us back to the focus of oneness. So please fill up that chat thread with your stories. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 19 of The Journey of Sunday. I'm Andrew Carruthers. I'll see you next week.